Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. We have a very special edition today, an episode. We're over in Tampa. Yes, the Tampa, the one and only Tampa, the beautiful west coast of Florida. And I'm with my dear friends. Let's see if I can do it this way. We have Jenifer Fernandez with the property pose here in Tampa. And we have Lori. Hold on. Lori LaCoppola.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Say it.
LaCoppola.
LaCoppola.
Yes.
At the Coppola. She's with Milestone Title Services. I'm Ted Bogert, obviously, with VIP Mortgage Group. And we are here. We're about to do an actual educational event over here. We are blessed to be here at Guided Insurance Solutions with the one and only Todd. Todd's over there. Hi, Todd.
This may or may not be water.
This may not be water. But what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about friendship and real estate. The shit show that it is in 2022. So I said it out loud. Sorry about the lighting. My forehead is like a 9 head, but you all both look beautiful. All right. Welcome. All right. So tell them a little bit about you. We'll start with Jen. Jen, tell them a little bit about you, a little bit of your background. You know, they like the 411. They want to know, they don't want to know I was born and now I'm a realtor. Yeah. They want to know a little bit more.
Well, I mean, I was born and I am a realtor.
All right, and the
show.
See ya. See you and cut.
I was born to be a star. I guess not.
Yes, totally. I'll go with that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. So I was born in Tampa. However, I am a realtor. Anyways, I'm just kidding. So I got into real estate 6 years ago.
Why?
Truthfully?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's a shit show. So at the time, I was dating somebody who was in insurance, and he was always out and about taking people to lunch while I had a desk job at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And
motivation,
I said,
right
you know
there.
What? Damn it, I want to take people to lunch. I want to be out and about and, you know.
Make my own schedule.
And so I said, you know what? I'm good at sales, and I think this is something I could do, and got my license.
The rest is history.
The rest was, yeah. The rest
did you have anybody in your family that did real estate, or did
at the time, Lori.
Lori.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
So I asked
We're gonna
her,
get to Lori
and you know, she was like, "Oh, I definitely think this is, you know, would be
up your alley.
Yeah, up your alley.
You will be a star, and look at her star.
Look at her. She is. We're going to talk all about her star over here in Tampa in a minute. All right, Lori, give us your 411. Well, you obviously were not born and had a title girl Barbie.
No, I wasn't actually. I was a pediatric nurse for 10 years. Actually, that's what I was doing for 10 years. And
a pediatric nurse.
Yeah.
No way, I did not know that.
I did. I worked in the pediatric ER for a couple of years, and I worked for a physician, a pediatrician for almost 8, and loved it. And I was building my first home, and I became friends with the salesperson. And she was like, "Have you ever thought about real estate?" And I was like, "No, I'm a nurse." And she was like, "I think you'd be great at it." And I said, "Really? You think so?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I closed on my house January, went and got my license, I think February. And I've been in it almost 20 years. I was an agent for 12 years, and I was in home warranty for almost 6. And now I've been in title for 2.5. So I've been in the industry for quite some time. And it's all thanks to my friend Suzanne, who said, "Hey, have you thought about this?" So sometimes it just takes a little bit of a nudge, you know, or someone just kind of pointing it out. Yeah. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. This is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm very thankful for her for that.
Well, when I was in real estate school, my class was in a brokerage. It was upstairs. And the broker came in on the last day of our class when we were getting ready to take the test and said, "Just so y'all know, I failed 3 times before I was able to pass." So we're all looking at each other like, "Oh, great." So once I passed on the first try, I called Lori and I said, "Yeah, I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in. I'm going to do this.
I'm meant
and
for
just
this."
So you can share with them, it's just as glamorous. It's all Lamborghinis and travel. And tell them a little bit about the darker side of the business, because that's sort of the shit show part. We all love what we do. I love mortgages. We all love people, but there is an entirely different world. And we're all dealing. We were talking about it today at lunch, how there is a shit show, an ish show, whatever you want to say. I like to say shit show because that's literally what it is. Tell them about that, because I think people say, all right, you're gonna get your license and immediately you're gonna make 6 figures. You're gonna have all of these people. You're gonna wine and dine people. And it's gonna be amazing, and you're not gonna know what to do with all of that business. What was the reality for?
It's all a lie. A lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. You got to work your butt off. To some people, I think it probably can come easy. I mean, I think I stumbled into a little bit of good luck in the beginning of my career, 100%. But it also required a lot of work to maintain it. You're not going to get licensed and, sellers are going to come knocking on your door to, come list my house. No, it's not how it works. You really got to fake it till you make it for sure.
And what's that like? Like when you get in, did you have those preconceived notions like a lot of people did?
I had no idea what to expect. No, I mean, I just would look at Lori and I'm like, she's doing okay. I mean, hey.
You're the goalpost right there.
I had no idea what to expect. And then it was like, wait a second. So you mean the money that I spent, I'm supposed to have a closing tomorrow, and now it fell through. I don't get that money anyways?
Yeah.
I will never forget my very first big deal. I call it my big deal. It was, I think, probably about $450,000 house. That was the biggest house that I put under contract. The buyer got into a car accident right before closing and lost her job. Couldn't work. I had already spent that money that I was getting. And that was hard. That hurt. So I tell every single one of our new agents, don't spend it until the check is cleared.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Never, ever count your chickens before they're hatched. Yeah. That's old.
And I think that's, a lot of times when people do get into real estate, right, it's usually because they know someone that's in it, right? And they see a lot of times their success, and they kind of come in with that, preconceived notion of like, oh, well, they're successful, but they don't always look at what they did to get there.
Yes.
And there's so much, grind to it. And there's so much traditional real estate that you have to do. And, not everything, just comes easy. You have to have a good sphere of influence. You have to, have a great marketing plan. You have to door knock. You have to, great partners. You have to,
great partners.
You have to have people that support you and believe in your, work ethic and have that same work ethic, right? Because you can refer a lender or a title company, and if they don't work the way you do, the whole deal could fall apart, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that you're partnering with the right people. You want to make sure that you're, always educating yourself, right? We're doing this fantastic Build Your Business class today. And it's like, these are the things that you have to come to, right? They're not just some stupid classes. The world of real estate is constantly evolving, and it's changed so much in the 20 years I've been, in it. And it's just getting more intense and sometimes harder. And, you have to change with the times. And so you really have to have that like brokerage that really supports you. You have to do the work. Yeah, you get to do your own schedule and that's all grand and stuff. But if you don't have discipline, unfortunately, you're not always going to be the most successful in real estate. You might make a good living, but you're never going to get to that top performing agent unless you're really, you're doing the work, and you got to do the work, and you got to do it on all aspects and all levels of the business and all hours. You
can't be
not a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 gig at all.
You can't turn your phone on silent at 5 p.m. and deal with it.
No, as much as you want to go to happy hour, which you can, you still just have to answer the call.
Yeah. Hey, I negotiate very well after a few cocktails. I will say.
I don't drink.
I'll play the fifth because Christian's watching.
And you don't lie either.
But talk about the relationships, because I think that's so important. Friendship was part of the title. But it really does become almost this crazy, dysfunctional, fun kind of family. Yeah. You get close to the people you do business with, and sometimes that can be painful.
Yep.
And other times it works like magic. So talk about the importance of that, especially Jen gets hit probably more than all of us combined, because as a realtor, you get hit from all sides. You get the mortgage, the inspector, the insurance, the title. I mean, name it. You are getting hit all the time. How do you differentiate and discern which people that you want to work with? How does that work?
Lori kind of hit the nail on the head today at lunch when she brought up customer service. You can buy me all the Cuban sandwiches and vodkas and, desserts that you want. Sorry, I'm definitely.
No, please.
I keep
it's
trying
all right.
to push her in.
It's all right.
Like half out of it.
It's a TED sandwich. I don't know what's going on.
But at the end of the day, if you can't get my client to the closing table, whether you're a lender, you're in title or insurance, whatever,
or you're an inspector who's scaring the buyer or scaring, whatever.
It's more than, just the gimmies that a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of agents do. Granted, we appreciate it. We love it, of course. But I need the customer service. I need to know that when I'm working, you're working.
Yes.
You know, you're going to treat my client the same way you treat me, or better. I'd really rather you treat them better than you treat me, because they're going to give us all business in return.
Because you're going to hear it. The thing that I think a lot of us that are on the referral side don't understand is that if you put your seal of approval on a me or a Lori and we screw up, it really does reflect on you. And then it impacts your business and impacts your trust level with that client. And it's not, you've spent a lot of time, money, effort, and energy into bringing that client to the table and referring it to us.
I've had a lot of clients that have come to me after working with another agent and are leaving that agent because they didn't like their lender.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's, you know, and it's unfortunate for that agent. I mean, I'm not going to give them back. I'll take it, of course. It's unfortunate, but you know, when you don't have a good partner, you're kind of hurt yourself too.
You are. And Lori, so tell us a little bit, because your transition was different. You have a really great perspective. I've got the insurance, title, mortgage side. You have the realtor, title, and home warranty side.
Yeah.
How does that work in your business now? Because you obviously made this wonderful butterfly transition to title. What's that like? And does it change the way that you interact with the real estate world, because you have so much of a different kind of base and foundation?
You know, I think coming from being an agent for so long, it just really kind of gives me the knowledge and the understanding of what the process goes through and what's important, right? So I can sit and go, you know, okay, on the home warranty side, loved home warranty, did it for almost 6 years. That's home warranty is hard. Like, you home warranty reps, it's hard, so especially right now with everything going on, with things being stuck on the truck. Like, I don't envy y'all at all. And title is definitely different. This is kind of, you know, the fun part of the transaction, right? They've done the 45 days of, you know, looking at the property, and they've gone through the loan officers and, you know, through VIP mortgage, and they've gotten their loan. You're welcome. And, you know, now they've come to title. So like, we're kind of the fun part, which is really my favorite part. However, you still, if you don't always have the knowledge of the process, I don't think you always give the best service, right? You're kind of doing a disservice to the clients. So knowing of, you know, what there's so much emotions, right? Like, their escrow deposit comes in and this happens, and they want you to fill this out and do this, and they're not always understanding why. And so having that kind of, you know, the background that I have, I can actually go in and say, well, we're doing this for this reason. And you know, I understand that, you know, your emotions are this, you know, let's just kind of put that aside. Let's take care of this, and that, you know what I mean? So you kind of have to kind of, like, I'm happy that I have that experience just so I can help them through the process on the, you know, on the latter part of everything. So
I think that's so important. Yes, because I think the perspective, I think the more experience you have, the other industries you've been in, it's so important when you bring it to the table, because if you've only done one side of it, or you haven't worked anywhere else but real estate, sometimes you forget all the stuff that the buyer goes through or the seller goes through. And so it's really good to have that perspective. Let's talk about the shit show part, because I think that is the funniest part and what I got most of the comments on before we went live. Why did we pick this topic? I mean, I agreed with that 100% as soon as you said it. But talk about the shit show part, because I think people are starting to see interest rates creep up some. They hear all about how it's a seller's market. There's no inventory. What are you guys seeing as far as the shit show part for 2022?
You start, Jen, because you've got the agent side.
So, I mean, everything that you just said, with the rates starting to go up, I mean, we're still, I feel we're going to start to level out a little bit, but
inventory still low.
Inventory still low. I mean, a last listing, 26 offers on it.
That's amazing.
I mean, 26 offers, and you know, it was hard to choose. I will say that. One thing I will say that it's a shit show is the way some agents write offers.
No doubt.
The way they present offers. You know, it's some agents really need to sit down with their broker and say, hey, what did I do wrong here? I think I did something wrong. You did.
Or how about, this is the contract, I don't know how to fill it out.
It's just, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. The presenting, you know, more than just structuring an offer, how to present it, how to have a conversation with the person that you're potentially going to spend the next 30, 45 days working alongside with. You know, you want to be friends, even if it's fake, be friends with that person. because you know
the same goal.
So
Yes.
All the same goal.
I'm actually going to be doing a class for our brokerage on how to win an offer. I don't even know what I titled it now, but it's basically how to win an offer in this market. And it's not just, you know, no inspection and going above asking. There's way more to it. And so that's where the shit show comes in, is because there's, you know, there's not as much negotiating going on anymore. You know, your seller comes or your buyer comes to you, hey, let's put it in for 10 grand less and let's see what happens. I can tell you what's going to happen. You're not going to get the house.
Correct.
Nothing's
But then
happen.
you go high and you have appraisal issues and you have, you know, other issues. So it's like you have to kind of find that agent that really is knowledgeable and is educated. And that's the whole point of like learning in these classes and aligning yourself with the right brokerage and, you know, aligning yourself with the right partners. Because if you don't, unfortunately, what's going to happen is you're going to give the wrong information, and your buyers, or, you know, they're never going to get the house of their dreams because they're going to lose out on every single deal.
Yes.
Yeah, working with you will be a shit show.
Yeah, it'll be.
And that's what you don't want, because we're already, all three of us are challenged in the market because of what they just talked about. There's a whole new contract that came out that I swear to God, most realtors don't even know anything about it. And so we're all trying to maneuver through this. And so the shit show gets crazy, and we have to try to figure out how to mitigate that as the people who are talking to them every day. Because remember, they also have our consumers have the news, no matter what side you're on, the news in their heads all the time.
And their
oh my
friend
God,
who used to be an agent.
That's
and
correct.
Cousin Billy Bob and their, you know,
and
all that.
like Jen was saying, 26 offers. Well,
and
not
that's
our house
really.
only got 15. What's wrong? I mean, there is this whole concept of how things are supposed to go. And I feel like the three of us and any vendor or anybody who's involved in the transaction needs to try to figure out a way to circumvent that shit show and make it a positive experience for the seller and the buyer and everybody.
It's really all about kind of bringing their emotions, controlling their emotions. And I don't mean that in a negative way. We are the professionals, right? They come to us because we are the professionals, right? You're not going to go to a hospital and ask for, you know, no offense, like the janitor to do my knee surgery, right? You at all. But the point is you want to, again, align yourself with knowledgeable agents, knowledgeable partners, people who believe in your business, and people that look at your business the same way you do.
Yes.
That's really the most important, if anything, you know.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Correct.
Yeah, to not have a shit show, right? Because
talk about the help part, because I think if people are afraid to ask, they feel like they should know, or they feel like they're educated, and then something comes up and then they're afraid to ask the question, which always is not the right choice. You should ask the professionals, these two, not me, but the professionals in general, because that's why you pay us. That's how we make our money. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to take care of that part of your transaction. I think a lot of people don't ask the questions, like you were saying.
Yeah. I mean, buyers and sellers, sometimes they don't ask. They'd rather turn to Google because they don't want to bother their real estate agent. You know, and whenever I have a client that says, oh, I don't want to bother you, my thought is, did I ever lead you to think that you were bothering me? You know, no, that's my job, is to, if I don't know the answer to it, I'll tell you, I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
Well,
last night
at dinner, I think it was 8:30. I looked at my thing and you're sitting there, you know, negotiating. Again, you want people who are going to go to bat for you. You want people who are going to put you first in this transaction. And that's really, really important.
It's so important. And let's talk about the friendship part, because I think a lot of people watch us together and they are like, oh, they're having a good time. But that's what you do. You build the rapport. And honestly, you want a realtor, a mortgage person, a title person, an insurance person who has those kinds of relationships where you can have this kind of discussion, where you know you can rely on each other, you can trust each other, because when we're all going through the shit show, we all want to make sure that we're on the right page, we're on the same page, and we're doing the things that are right for our client, and we're all in agreement with it.
And don't let the friendship affect the business. I mean, Milestone Title is amazing, and I don't know if you guys have ever really messed up, but there has been times that I've needed something, and I'll call Lori, and she'll think I'm calling for a personal thing. And I'm like, no, it's business. We got to talk right now. And then we literally switch from what are we doing this weekend to, okay, let me get this fire put out for you. I'm on it right now. And then, you know, you got to
You have to separate
So
that.
important.
You have to separate it.
Yeah, you have to be able to go right into business mode because there a lot of times, especially the way things are changing literally hour by hour, you've really got to stay on top of it. And you want to be able to communicate with those people. You want the phone call answered, the text message, the email, whatever it is, however you communicate. You want to be able to call and go, what is up, Ted? You didn't answer my call earlier and it's an emergency. Not that I would do that, but that's what you want. That's why the friendship part, the relationship part is so critical when you're doing business. You want to make sure that when you hire a realtor like Jen, that she has this circle of influence that can help get your deal done in a timely manner the way you want it.
And the other thing I want to say, which is really important, and it really, really is when you have those friendships in place on top of the business relationship, right? When you have those, you will kind of shift the way you think when there is a screw up. Okay. And let me explain why. You can have, right, you'll have a client or a customer, buyer, seller, whatever, send an email and they're upset about something. I know Jen is never going to say, well, that shouldn't be. Let me see what's going on with that. Like, she's never going to throw me under the bus. What she's going to say is, well, you know what? I haven't really heard that before with them. Let me go ahead and look into that. Those are the type of relationships you want to have because A, you don't want to rile up the client any more than they are.
Correct.
B, you want to support your people. So you handle it in a different way because unfortunately, over the years I've been in the business, I have had agents where I'll get an email and they're like, this is disappointing. This is unacceptable. This is this. And they'll have the client in the email and me, and I'm sitting here and then I'll look into it. It wasn't even our thing, you know, like, okay, well, the check was cashed already.
Or it was something that's standard and they just didn't know because
Correct.
of inexperience.
Correct. That's right.
Right.
And their client was upset. So versus calling and saying, hey, is this the normal procedure? Is this how this goes?
Right.
They are, let me be big and bad in front of my client and go off on the person they're mad at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand why. You're right. That happens a lot. So
it does.
You have to, just like you said, to handle it. I feel like it's very important to go, I'm going to look into that for you. Yeah. The minute that you throw somebody under the bus that you work with, it undermines your credibility too. So it's such a bad choice for you to do that.
And you can call me and yell at me, right? And say, what the hell? This is a shit show right now. What's that? But you don't do it in an email when the client's attached.
Not clients, nobody else.
You're trying to bring their
emotions down. That's why the friendships and the relationships are so important. You can call and say, hey, Jen, hey, Ted, hey, Lori, this is a shit show. Here's why. But you don't do that. You never throw anybody else under the bus. And that's why the relationships are so critical. You can't do that.
You have to believe in your people.
You do.
You have
and if you don't believe in your people,
then go find someone to do. Exactly.
My opinion.
Go find your people. Exactly. Not everyone's for everyone. And that's okay. There's enough business for everybody.
So hashtag find your people.
I love that.
Hashtag shit show. All right. So how can they find you and reach both of you? Let's talk about that.
Go ahead, Jen.
Phone number. I don't know if anybody's quick enough to write this down, but 813-486-5993. Pretty sure by now it's all over Google. I've had it since I was like 16.
And the bathroom stalls. Just kidding.
And that's where the friendship part comes in.
She put them on there.
I mean, you know.
And she put them on there.
She was single for a minute. I had to.
All right, Lori, how do they reach you?
So Lori with Milestone Title, 813-422-1328. I am here for all your title needs, Tampa, Orlando, anywhere in the state of Florida.
And if I can just do a shameless plug here
Please
for a second. Real Estate with the Pros has started filming. It's our reality show, and it's going to be real estate. We're not selling $1 million mansions on the water. We're not we're real. We're going to have deals and they're either going to make it to the table or they're going to fall through. Yeah. So if you guys, are curious to see a day in the life of a realtor, subscribe to our page and check it out once it drops. I think
Star the show over here.
Get your popcorn. Get your popcorn.
Yes.
It's good. It's good stuff. All right. And I'm Ted Bogert. You guys know VIP Mortgage
Ted.
Group. I love you both. I'm so excited to be over here in Tampa.
What's your number?
Oh, my number is 407-810-5670.
Yes.
You guys reach out to me. You know how to get a hold of me. But this is what it's about. It's spotlighting and highlighting the positive things that are going on in our industry so we can cut down on that noise that you guys are all hearing out there. Yeah. So reach out to Jen.
Yes.
And Lori,
Yes.
real estate, you're thinking about moving, thinking about buying or selling?
Or if you're an agent and you just have questions and need help and you can't get the answer from your broker,
Yes.
send me a DM on Facebook. If I know the answer, I'm happy to provide it to you, and I'm not going to ask you for a percentage of your commission. I promise.
Isn't that lovely? And Lori's going to do everything that you ever could want from a marketing standpoint, and then the customer service, and that's what we do too. So thank you both. We did it.
Thank you.
We pulled it off.
Woo!
We love all you that sent us love.
Yes.
Reach out to Jen and Lori and me. We will get you in touch with the right people. And of course, we'd love to do business with you.
Find your people.
Find your people. And we're going to find this light that's been shining on my head for this whole time. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye everybody.
Bye, all.